Hello, everybody. It is Friday, and that means it's time to go live to tell you everything you need to know to write, publish, and promote a great book. I'm Elizabeth Ann Atkins, co-founder of Two Sisters Writing and Publishing, and I'm here with our superstar author, Joanie Lindenmeyer, and we have been going live every Friday almost for 2.5 years talking about writing books. It's so exciting. So happy
Amazing.
Halloween and welcome, Joanie.
Thank you. And happy Halloween to you too. You're looking good. It feels
You
like
too.
forever since I've seen you because you were just in Oregon.
Yes,
Wowie.
yes, yes, yes. And that's partly what we're going to be discussing today. So Joanie's back home in Brookings. I'm back home in Michigan. Adjusting to the time zone is no joke because I was out there for 11 days in the Pacific time zone. Now I'm back in Eastern, but it's all good. But Joanie, we are going to
Yes,
talk about something so powerful today. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay.
And I even have my box of Kleenex in case something else just emotionally erupts.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. So, we are going to talk about two things that are very connected. One is having a support network for writing a book, being a publisher, and pursuing your dreams. And the other one is when authors die. And they're very closely connected. And we had an example of it, unfortunately and fortunately, this week. So, Joni, can you first take us to the Goddess Power Retreat? Tell us what it was like to be among 9 women, having meditations, journaling, using writing as a tool for transformation, and just in loving on that energy.
Yes, I mean, it would probably take days to really tell you all the wonderful things that happened at the retreat. Bottom line, it was a weekend. It was a Thursday night, Friday, Saturday. We all departed on Sunday, but you figure that's 4 days of sisterhood where I did not know these people going into it. I knew Elizabeth and I knew Catherine, and that was it. And so to create friendships that are so tight because we shared, here's the main point, everybody, it's sharing, trusting, believing you can say and be you with these brand new people, and you're accepted, loved, and celebrated for that. That was phenomenal. And how that happened all was because Elizabeth set up a program for those 4 days that included journaling, insights from Elizabeth, insights from everybody else, exercise, fabulous food. Oh my gosh, that salmon made by Cat. I am still salivating over that one. Um, uh, and the weather, 4 rainbows in one day. There were so many highlights in those 4 days. You can't even pin it down to one specific thing other than sharing.
Mm-hmm.
The love exuded. And
Mm-hmm.
thank you from the top of my heart, the bottom of my heart, my whole being. Thank you, Elizabeth, for putting this retreat on. And I hope that there are many more to come so that more people can create that bond, that sisterhood, that team, that feeling of exuberance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Joni. Thank you so much. It was so special that you were there. It was just
Thank you.
awesome. And Joni stayed in one of the glamping cottages that was actually on a pond that had swans. It was just a magical environment. And also, one real quick thing, the whole itinerary was inspired from my Bis Tribe Goddess Power books. So my books laid the foundation for the actual retreat, and every woman got a copy of the Bis Tribe where you activate your goddess power and then also your pleasure. So they got the two books, the journals, and it was just extraordinary to see my actual book come to life. We should do a whole show on that one, Joan, because
Exactly.
we also did a workshop at Southern Oregon University, and we did a workshop for the Queer Student Union using Joyously Free as the foundation for that. So we'll talk about that as well, using your books to actually create programming. But for today, and thank you for that amazing summary, Joni.
Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. Can I add a few things as
Please.
things are hitting my heart? Well,
Yeah.
I'm wearing my amethyst bracelet
Uh-huh.
because even though Elizabeth is saying this was prompted by the books that she wrote, the real life experience was more powerful than reading it and being engaged in the books. Nothing
Hmm.
against the books. Oh my gosh, the books are phenomenal, but to be there live was phenomenal. And in one of the chapters, as the books go on, there's a treasure chest. And so Elizabeth gave each of us as attendees the treasure chest, and in the treasure chest was this bracelet, and everybody received a bracelet and some other beautiful
Hmm.
things. I don't want to give all the secrets away because somebody's going to probably go to a retreat and go, am I going to get a treasure chest? Yes, you're
Oh,
going to get a treasure chest, because that's such a
yeah.
big part of being the best you.
Yeah.
So I just
Joni,
wanted to
keep
throw that in
going. I'm
there.
going to grab it. It's right on the table. Hold on.
Okay, perfect. And so, the books that she wrote that triggered this were phenomenal books and had characters in them. But to be in with nine other, or eight other people plus me, the nine women, we were our own characters. We were our own selves. And we aged from age 30 something. And I think I was the oldest at 68. And it was wonderful having a person that was out as a bisexual person, and I appreciated that as a queer lesbian. And there were straight women, there were divorced women, there were current married women, but everybody had smiles and big hearts and participated fully. And I think that's the key, that you go in not knowing what to expect, but giving it your all and having the attitude that you want to give your all and receive all your all. It was really a give and receive.
Hmm.
So,
Thanks, Joni. Thank you so much.
yes,
So everybody got this book, and the whole program was based on it. And we did exercises that you actually write in the book. And then Saturday night, we had a very hot conversation based on this pleasure book, which is book two in the series. So that, and then I gave everybody this journal, hardcover journal, and they were just writing their hearts out, including you, Joni. It was just
yes.
beautiful to witness. And so the treasure chest is here somewhere, but anyway, it's another treat. And it was just a glorious experience. But Joni, the word sisterhood, and this can apply if you're male or whatever gender identity you have, is your tribe. That's why the book is called The Bis Tribe, Joni. Tribe.
Yes.
See that word?
Yes.
Because when you find your tribe, you feel included and you feel supported. So many of the women emphasized the sisterhood, which was like there was no competition. There was a lot of people voiced the thing about, being leery of making female friendships for having been burned in the past. And that was not there. It was just love. It was just support. And it allowed us to all talk and share and cry and laugh and have fun and spend 4 days together
Yes.
in complete harmony. So, Joni, the importance of that, can you talk about the importance of having your tribe, your network, your support system when you're writing a book, promoting a book, and just living your life?
Right, absolutely. Because we're not alone and we're not on an island. We are really in the midst and within the midst of being in relationship. And I think the key word there is relationship. To be in a relationship, to have a group, to have people, and whatever size that is, it doesn't matter. For some people, a tribe is one or two or three people. For other people, it's hundreds of people. But having that support mechanism, when I wrote None Better, was phenomenal. And I can go right down the line and say Sally and Leah and Gail and Dan. And I mean, there'd be numerous names of people that I could mention that came to my assistance, came to my support, encouragement, checking in on me, just saying, oh, I can't wait to read the book.
Yeah.
From little things to big things, that support network is what keeps you going as a writer. You're not alone. You're not alone. And as you move in different stages of from writing to publishing to having a launch party, if that's what you choose, to the promotion of your book, all along that journey, and I'm still on that journey. I think it must be a lifetime journey, but you will find that there's support wherever you go, wherever you go. And
Hmm.
you meet new friends and you have old friends and your family. And in that support, you're going to find out those that stick by you and those that don't.
Hmm.
And it's all good. It's
Hmm.
all good because we're not all on the same page. We're not, what's that word, cookie cutter people. We have
No.
to be ourselves. No,
No.
no, you have to be yourself. And the support, I don't, honestly, Elizabeth, I don't think I could have written and promoted the 3 books in 2 years without the tribes that I have.
Yes, yes, yes,
It
yes.
wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't have
Mhm.
happened.
We
So,
actually did a whole episode where you talked about the team that you have that helped you
mhm,
with all the
mhm.
different steps of writing and publishing. So Joni, we have another angle to this whole support network as an author. And so the day after the retreat, we're all flying high, just so happy, elated, joyous, peaceful. And I'm working back at my desk and my phone rings. It's Joni. And I thought you were out taking a beautiful hike in Lithia Park in Ashland, Oregon, and you were going to share the beautiful scenery. Elizabeth, it's a gorgeous day. I just want to share it. I answer the phone and please tell me what happened.
Oh, Elizabeth, I was in shock, and I had just heard that my dear friend Joyce Eason had passed away totally unexpectedly. And I didn't know who to call, so you were the first one on my phone right there. And I think I just bursted into tears. I don't know what I even said to you. All I remember is that I was in shock. I was stunned. I was in so much emotional pain, and you just kept telling me, Joni, just breathe, sit down and breathe. And it's like, I couldn't crap. I couldn't hang on to my breath because I was just so hurt. And was shocked. And Joyce is a writer in Joyously Free. She's the person that I've known for 30 some years. She knew Carol before I knew Joyce. Her husband died 10 months ago of leukemia. And I would always stay at her house, and we shared intimate personal stuff. And for years, we've been able to do that. And so, in honor of Joyce, I went outside right now,
Oh,
and
oh,
I picked a couple flowers. I picked a couple
oh,
flowers for Joyce and Scott. I don't know if you
oh.
can see those, but they
Yes,
are
they're
absolutely fragrant.
beautiful.
They're
Beautiful.
absolutely fragrant. But I guess the point is, there's so many points to this. Yes, I'm still grieving and working and just being with the friends and the family and her tribe and her sons. And I was just looking at what she wrote in the book this morning, Joyously Free. And if anybody has that book, you can go to page 109, 109. And I'm just going to read one little thing that she says here.
Okay.
Um, uh, she's talking about that she has a beautiful son and son-in-laws. It's a throuple back in Boston area, and she has a 2-year-old and a 3-month-old grandchild from this relationship. And she talks about how beautiful the love is within that family, and how she and Scott dealt with having a gay son, and just knowing that she always loved them, and that if you have a gay relative or a friend or whatever, just keep loving them. Just be you. And so she says here, I feel that God has blessed each player in this love story. I always conclude my prayers with God's will be done. God is so good. I feel God's will has definitely been done. I'm grateful for my children. As a mother, seeing my 2 boys in this situation was one of the most gratifying, joyous and love-filled moments of our life. And so it just reminded me, she gave me a mug recently because
Oh,
she always said to everybody, you are a blessing. You are a blessing in my life. And so it says, you are a blessing. And then on the
oh,
back side, she has one of her favorite scripture quotes. She was definitely Catholic, but at the same time, just weeks before that, she went with me to the Presbyterian church um, for a pride event. And so we both got to go to her church and my church, and God is God. And Joyce, I know you're in heaven and you're loving it, and you're home with your husband up there, and your brother Lenny, who I knew as a priest, and your mom and my Carol. You're up in heaven, Joyce, and I know my heart still aches, but it's bubbling the joy, Joyce. It's bubbling the joy. And
uh-huh.
so
That's
thank you for letting
beautiful.
me go on and on here, but I'm so glad that she left a legacy. She left a legacy in her writing, and Scott
Yes.
did the same thing.
Right,
And
right,
as
right.
authors and writers, we get to do that. We get to leave
Yes.
a legacy when we
Yes.
die.
Yes, beautiful. That's so amazing. So, Joni, that's the whole message here. It's double. It's like you have a support system. So when something happens, you have someone to call. And I was grateful to be that person for you, but you have a
Thank you.
huge
Thank you
support.
so much. Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much. Oh my gosh.
You're welcome, Joni. And then the fact that she's one of our authors from Joyously Free is so beautiful. She's part of our writing community. She's one of our authors here at Two Sisters Writing and Publishing. And she also left, as you just said, a legacy in her book that will touch people's lives as a parent, and having that courageous perspective that she and her husband shared in their story in the book can help people everywhere in the book. So she's not the first of our authors to die, and sadly, Anthony Martinez from the book, he passed away last December. He had been chronically ill, and that is what had inspired his mission to create a wellness center in Metro Detroit. And he had texted me saying he was saying goodbye last fall, and then he passed away. But again, his very courageous story is in Joyously Free. And I'm forever grateful for that because he's passed away and now he's in spirit form. And now we get to still read his words. And he was actually my journalism student at Oakland University way a long time ago,
Oh,
like 20
wow.
some years ago. And so that's how I met him. And I've just watched him learn and grow. And then just to have that final celebration that he is a published author. He had written another book as well. My point is that people's words live forever when they're published in a book. And also here at Two Sisters Writing and Publishing, Joni, our author Steve Bullock, he passed away in September. And his book,
Ah,
here's his memoir, which I actually wrote for him, and it's called My Name is Steve Delano Bullock: How I Changed My World and the World Around Me Through Leadership, Caring, and Perseverance. And what's remarkable about Steve Bullock's book is he named it this because that's his name. He was named Steve by his parents and Delano after Franklin Delano Roosevelt because President Roosevelt helped the family survive with the Depression era jobs. And so, what also is remarkable is that Steve was born a sharecropper's son in North Carolina during the Jim Crow era. Very difficult for Black people, Black families, and they were very, very poor. But they had strong faith, strong family values. He got his education. He rose to become the first Black president of the American Red Cross, and
whoa.
he went on humanitarian missions in around the world. So
Wow.
it's what we love, against the odds success stories, and now his story lives on forever with his blueprint for success. Not just success in business, but success in life. How do you get past the terrible racism that when he got a job in Virginia Beach as a teenager, his first job, the racist man who was his boss didn't even acknowledge his actual name. He said, "You're John 1, you're John 2, and you're John 3" to the three Black men who were working as bellhops in the hotel. I know, Joni. That's why his name is so important, and that became his title because there was a time when a man would not acknowledge his name. He called him boy or worse, or
Yeah.
John. John, he wrote on his envelope with his money for his paycheck. It wasn't a check, it was cash. He wrote John 1. And like, I
That's
don't even
so
want to be.
infuriating to me. I just hate and prejudice and discrimination just drives me crazy. And I just constantly am praying for peace, for people to understand that we're all good people. We're made good. We're born good people.
Hmm.
Come
Yes,
on.
absolutely, Joni. And then that message is in the book. So when we write that in a book, and you and I have written that in so many ways in so many different books and blogs and social media, that's just what we're all about. And but when it's in a book, it's preserved and it's shared. It's powerful.
And
Hmm.
you've always said, and I so agree, everyone has a story. And that's what Steve did. That's what Joyce did. That's what Scott did. That's what Martinez, what's his first name? Um,
Oh, Anthony?
Anthony, that's what Anthony did, you know. We all have a story. So write it, everybody. And that was the message at SOU the other night. And wow, did their flowing of their meditation and the journaling from the youth and the community people. It was cool. But yes, share your story, write it, write it.
So, Joni, yes, absolutely. And that's a message that we shared. Um, can you please take us to the workshop at SOU and just talk about what we did there?
Yes, and you jump in too, okay?
Okay.
Um, if you notice, everybody, Elizabeth and I are always collaborating. She'll have an answer, and I'll have an answer, and together we come up with answers. Is sort of how it works. And sometimes it's just questions. Bottom line was the event was a combination of sharing where do we find joy, how do we express joy? And then we led into a group sharing as everybody participated and wrote words and descriptions of those two things of joy on a board on their sticky notes. And then Elizabeth led us in a meditation that helped all of us clear our brain and our heart and our body so that we could then journal what was on our mind, what was in our heart. And there was one lady, Diana, and she wants to write a children's book. And so she actually journaled in the first part of creating her book, you
Yeah.
know. And then there were some students that wrote their profoundness in their own books and journals as they were creating and finding out that, wow, you know, I really am a cool person. I'm a cool gender fluid. I'm cool trans. You know, there was so much diversity in that room that night, but they were able to express that in sharing as well as in their writing. And
Mhm.
my hats go off to Maud and to Blake. Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
just
the student
yeah. And
coordinators
that's
and
just two
also
that stuck out of my
sweet.
mind. There's a whole bunch of other people, and I probably shouldn't have named names, but everyone had a powerful impact with each other.
Yes, and I absolutely want to give a shout out to Sweets Underwood, who
Yes.
helped, organize the event, which was wonderful. She's head of the Social Justice and Equity Center team at SOU, and her leadership is extraordinary. So she was awesome. And it was just a wonderful, wonderful, loving, nurturing experience. Everybody felt free to be who they are and, speak up, speak out, write, use it as a tool for self exploration and revelation. So that was super powerful.
Yes. And the leadership by the students, it blows me away. Here they are at 20, 21 years old, and they are taking charge of their life. They have their goals set, they have their ambitions, they have their dreams hot on their chest, hot on their heart, and they're chasing those dreams. And it reminds me of rainbows. It's like the rains will come, death will come, things will happen, but the rainbows will appear. Just keep looking. And look at the retreat, Elizabeth. Had four rainbows in one day.
Yeah,
That was phenomenal.
I
That
know.
was phenomenal.
Literally four. And of course, Joni was the first to see them. The first one, we're all sitting there in our session, and Joni's like, a rainbow! And we all ran outside and took pictures and just stood in awe. And it was aiming right down at the mountains right in front of us. And it was actually a double rainbow. And so we took pictures, and it was a whole arc. And then later there was another one, and then there was another one, and then there was another one. It was magical. And so Mother Nature was affirming the magic that we were experiencing inside the dream house for the retreat. So, yeah, it was.
And as writers, I think the more that we're aware of what's going on,
Mhm.
nature-wise or in your life or in relationships, you get to put that in your writings, that whether it's a feeling or an emotion in your writing, or you're actually writing about it. What does a rainbow mean to you? You know, there's so many things that you can talk about and express when you're a writer. And you
Mhm.
don't have to hold back because you're the one in charge of it.
I love it. I love it. Beautiful. Yes, yes, yes. So cool. Well, Joni, thank you for another wonderful, informative, inspiring episode. And I hope all you writers out there can glean our wisdom and nuggets of golden nuggets of helpful information that guide you along your writing journey. Please drop us a comment. We'd love to hear any questions that we can address for you in future episodes. And do you have any final comments, Joni?
It's Halloween, which is the eve of All Hallows, which means All Saints and then All Souls. And so, Soul Sisters, hello. Soul everybody, hello. I love you. And thank you, Elizabeth, for doing this.
Oh, you're so welcome, Joni. You're so welcome. So, all you writers out there, please go to twosisterswriting.com. You can find all of our books. You can also learn about our publishing services as well as my book coaching services that help Joni go from a retired physical education teacher and former Catholic nun to a best-selling author who now hosts her own TV show. Well, maybe that's prophetic. Maybe that's next TV show. I meant to say radio program. And she's speaking all over. Look, so cool. And the wonderful friendship that we've cultivated as a result, which is such a blessing. So, all of you, write your book. Stop waiting. The world needs to hear from you. There is no better time than now to get started. And we hope we are the people who can inspire you to get started, keep going, and become that published author, making a positive, powerful impact on the world. So, meanwhile, we will see you next week. We wish you happy reading, happy writing, and happy Halloween.
Big hugs, everybody.